So let's start with a look across the area, starting out with our Jet Express cam, where we've got the brightest skies over Lake Erie. Blue skies, gorgeous conditions, but a bit of a chill that's showing up with 40s closer to our Lake Erie shore. We can thank those cooler lake waters. And we're going to give you another view toward Perrysburg, where we're starting to reveal a little more sunshine as those clouds are going to be departing between now and sunset time. That's going to lead to a clear night. And if we're looking for some brighter skies and sunshine, could always brighten the mood as we look downtown Toledo toward the Glass City River Wall and gorgeous conditions with some sun that's making its way through the cloud cover and a decent feeling day, certainly an improvement over what we've had the past couple of days with highs that have made it into the mid 50s. Now, freeze warnings, frost advisories, they're in place across the entire area. We expect we're going to be down close to, if not below freezing, most of southern Michigan, Lucas County, northern Ohio. Frost advisories south and west of the Toledo Metro. Bottom line, it's going to get cold into tomorrow morning, back close to that freezing mark. Lows near 32 degrees. We're still well within the territory where frost and freeze warnings are quite common this time of the year as we see low 30s. Now tomorrow morning, that's going to mean cold things for that bus stop forecast. Kids going to need to be bundled up again. Frosty and may need that ice scraper to remove some of that ice from the windshield if it's parked outdoors. Close to the low 30s as we go through the early morning, and brighter skies and sunshine going to take us to a decent feeling afternoon, right around the lower 60s as we go after school. So let's get over to meteorologist John Birchfield. And John, hour by hour, it's going to really drop fairly quickly tonight, down close to that freezing mark.
Yeah, Chris, our forecast sounds like a broken record this week. Frosty and freezing conditions once again possible, and you can see that exclusive hour by hour forecast from our free WTOL 11 weather app, forecasting overnight lows to drop down near 32. It's going to be a pretty short window of the frost and freeze potential, and temperatures rebounding nicely into your Thursday afternoon. Here's a look ahead at what you're going to wake up to. 32 in Fremont, 30s in Wood County. Pick your spot on the map. It is going to be a bitterly cold morning. By the afternoon, some nicer April weather. South and west of the Maumee River, the chance to get up to the low to mid 60s with some milder conditions. Now, when we do see that frost and freeze in the forecast, that can spell trouble for the area gardeners and also fruit farmers as well. And what we call this a fall spring, that is when a hard freeze occurs after the spring bloom. And we've already started to see that spring bloom. Now, thankfully, 32 isn't quite cold enough to cause widespread issues. But if we were to dip down into the 20s, that could mean trouble. There's a lot of area apple farmers that experience a loss of crop when you do get down to the 20s and the mid 20s. That is the threshold that we consider to be a hard freeze. 25 degrees is enough to kill around 90% of a fruit crop. That includes apples and peaches. And thankfully, we're not going to get quite that cold. Now, the further along the bloom gets, the milder the temperatures are required to cause trouble. 25 degrees is generally a good benchmark. During the winter time, when the buds are enclosed, they're a little more protected and resilient. And early in the season, you have to get down to the single digits to 10 degrees to cause much of an issue. Once that bloom begins, that is when temperatures in the 20s can spell trouble. Thankfully, tomorrow morning is only going to be in the low to mid 30s, so not quite enough for much widespread issues. Now, Chris, it's going to stay chilly for the 10-day forecast and also a little bit damp, and many folks just looking forward to some milder conditions.
Yeah, but it's a call, John, tomorrow to get the yard work done if you need dry weather, isn't it?
Yeah, last chance to enjoy that dry weather before some April showers return.
Yeah, numerous April showers. John, appreciate that update. 61 expected high for Thursday. Be a little wary, though, an afternoon cooler lake breeze that will make its way into the area. Upper 50s on Friday. That's the return of rain showers. Could be fairly steady the first half of the day. Cloudy skies, gloomy and damp conditions Friday afternoon. And we're not even going to make 60 on Friday. Mid 60s on Saturday. We're likely to sneak into the mid 60s for at least a few hours through early afternoon before more late day rain chances return Saturday. Cooler weather Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday. We go sliding next week back into the upper 40s to near 50. Those are some really chilly late April days. And as we look into early next week, could even get lows that may be frosty into early next week, back into the mid 30s. Highs by end of next week do head back into the 60s.